Hey everyone, welcome to episode 6 of my booktube. Today is a Claribel A. Ortega appreciation video. Um, I would have to credit her for getting me into middle grade fiction. Um, yes, at my big age of 29. so the so here's the thing about middle grade. I don't typically read middle grade. Um, I don't know if you guys remember, but like you remember in school, we used to have to do those standardized tests that basically tested our reading level. And then they, at least at my school, there were like these colors. So like if you were at the blue level, then you could read like at like a, let's say like a sixth grade level or something. And then like the colors would go up. And I remember the highest reading level was pink. And when you were at the pink level, it was like getting towards like high school um, leveled reading. And I remember taking this test in sixth grade, and I remember I got the pink level. So our librarian at the school, bless her heart, she wouldn't let us read like levels that were like below our reading level on that scale. No, like not that she would discourage it, but she would try to encourage us to read like at that like the first three levels or at the first three top levels of our like reading scale on like our little sticks that we had. So because she did that, again, they were just trying to get us to like read at our reading level and then like challenge ourselves. So it's not a knock on her. I don't even remember her name, to be honest with you, or her method. However, because of that, I missed out on reading like middle grade novels in middle school. And a little bit before that, just because I was told to read at my level. Hold on. Sorry about that. My youngest decided to wake up. But anyway, so I just kind of missed out on reading middle grade while I was actually in that age group. Um, but anyway, whatever. I'm an adult now, so I can read whatever I want. No librarian telling me what I can and can't. So, so far, I have read three of Claribel A. Ortega's works, and I've been in love with all three of them. I am really excited to see what else she writes. Um, the first book I wanted to talk about is the Witchling series that she writes. And I'll read you guys the synopsis. Okay, so it says every year in the magical town of Ravenskill, witchlings who participate in the Black Moon ceremony are placed into covens and come into their powers as full fledged witches. And 12-year-old Seven Salazar can't wait to be placed in the most powerful coven with her best friend. But on the night of the ceremony, in front of the entire town, Seven isn't placed in one of the five covens. She's a spare. Spare covens have fewer witches, are less powerful, and are looked down on by everyone. Even worse, when Seven and the other two spares perform the magic circle to seal their coven and submit themselves as sisters, it doesn't work. Um, They're stuck as witchlings and will never be able to perform powerful magic. Seven invokes her only option, the impossible task. The three spares will be assigned an impossible task. If they work together and succeed at it, their coven will be sealed and they'll gain their full powers. If they fail, well, the last coven to make the attempt ended up being turned into toads forever. But maybe friendship can be the most powerful magic of all. So, this book was just super cute. It had a great mix of cuteness, adventure, and then, like, learning to have your own, like, moral compass, learning to be okay with being yourself. And it's okay not to fit in a box, it's okay to be different. And I just thought, one, that was just so great for kids to learn. It's also great to be reminded of that as an adult. And I'll be honest, like, it was actually entertaining. Like, it wasn't entertaining in the sense, like, you know how sometimes you might watch like a cartoon, like, oh, ha ha ha, that was a good show, but like you only watched it because like your kids were watching it, or you only watched it because like some younger person in your life was watching it, but you wouldn't like go out of your way to watch it again. It was not one of those books. Like, I actually enjoyed Witchlings. Like, I would read it again. I am going to read it to my kids when they obviously have attention spans that are longer than that of a gnat's. And the second book, The Golden Frog Games in the series, comes out actually May 2nd, which also happens to be my daughter's first birthday. So, I'll probably buy her the series for her birthday. So the second book that I read of hers was Frizzy. So the main character, Marlene, is this beautiful little young lady, and she hates her weekly salon visit. So every week she goes to the salon with her mom, and she has to get her hair washed and straightened. And she hates having her hair straightened because she's got these big, wild curls, and she just hates the salon. And so one day she just decides, I hate going to the salon. I hate getting my hair straightened. So I'm just not going to do it anymore. So she just kind of tells her mom, like, I don't want to do this anymore. So her mom's like, okay, like, whatever, you do what you want to do. And there's a lot of, like, conversations about, like, how she doesn't have good hair, how she should straighten it. Like, these are other people saying this. And she obviously, like, because she never really had her hair like natural before, she kind of, she has like a lot of missteps. But then her aunt, Ruby, and her best friend, they like encourage her, like, if this is what you want to do, then like do it. Wear your hair natural. And her aunt Ruby, who wears her hair natural, she's like, you know what? Why don't you come hang out with me for the weekend, and I'll teach you how to properly care for your hair, how to figure out what products work for your hair. Um, and obviously, at the end of the book, she embraces her natural hair, and her mom also then decides to wear her hair natural. And they have like this really heart to heart. I don't want to tell you what the heart to heart was about as to why the mom decided to always get her hair straightened and everything like that, just because I don't want to give away too much. But it was just a really cute story. I just think it's so important. As someone who did used to straighten their hair all the time, I was definitely the kid that always had relaxers in their hair. And obviously, a few years ago, I decided to go natural. And it was a big transition. I mean, natural hair and caring for natural hair is not easy, especially if you've never actually had to care for your hair in that state growing up. So it was definitely a learning curve for me. I am still learning to love my curls. I am still learning to love my hair the way it is. Um, and, I'm still trying to find the right products for my hair. But I think I actually cried when I read the book. It was that cute. It was that powerful of a message. And I think every young girl, every young boy should read this story, especially if they don't have the stereotypical straight hair. You have to learn to love yourself, and I think that it's so important for this middle grade, um, especially that age group. It's really hard to have self confidence at all, obviously, stages of your life, but I feel like that middle grade age group it's really hard. It's so hard. So I really enjoyed this book. It is actually a graphic novel. So I typically don't read graphic novels. I used to read comic books back in the day when I was younger. Like your Batman, Spider Man, Avengers, Fantastic Four, those. But I've never really read like graphic novels. But I thoroughly enjoyed this. The illustrator, her name is Rose Losamra. I could be, I'm most likely mispronouncing her last name. Um, she was a great illustrator. The pages were just so beautiful, so full of color. They were amazing. So definitely add this book to your TBR. It's a quick read. I think I read it in maybe an hour, if that. So it was really great. And then the last book of Claribel A. Ortega's books that I read was The Ghost Squad. So it was described as a Coco meets Stranger Things with a hint of Ghostbusters. So I'll let you guys. I'll read the synopsis for you. Um, for Lucelli, I think that's how you say it. I listened to it on audiobook, so um, I'm pretty sure it's Lucelli. So for Lucelli Luna, ghosts are more than just the family business. Shortly before Halloween, Lucelli and her best friend Sid cast a spell that accidentally awakens malicious spirits, wreaking havoc throughout St. Augustine. Together, they must join forces with Sid's witch grandmother, Babette, and her tubby tabby Chunk to fight the haunting head on and reverse the curse to save the town and Lucelli's firefly spirit before it's too late. With the family dynamics of Coco and the action packed adventure of Ghostbusters, Claribel Way Ortega delivers both a thrillingly spooky and delightfully sweet debut novel. So, I was unaware that this was her debut novel. However, I loved it. It was so it was so cute. Um Babette is a treat. I wish that she was one of my grandmothers for sure. And it had just enough adventure. It was spooky, but obviously not like, oh my god, like I don't think this is appropriate for children. But I thought it was really great. So I would also definitely give that a read as well. So I'm excited, like I said, for the second Witchlings book, and I'm just excited for anything else that Miss Ortega, decides to write, because I'm here for it. I'm here for the Latinx, representation. I'm here for her. Um, and I hope that she keeps on writing, because I feel like she's got great stories. Um, I love it. I love the vibe. I'm down. But that's it. This is obviously a shorter video, but um, yeah. So that's it. Thanks.